There are some very interesting and good EVs coming to Australia over the next 12 to 15 months or so. Here's what we know so far. Just before we get into this, stay to the end of the video to learn about some prizes that you can win. I said a week or two ago I was going to do some prizes for my birthday, which I've just had. So watch to the end and you'll see how to win some. So first up is the MG4 X-Power. Now I recently test drove the MG4 mid-range model, which I think is the Essence. It was very nice. I'll put a link to that video up here. Now MG have announced the price for the MG X-Power, which is their performance model. And it will be priced, and all these figures are in Australian dollars because this is in Australia. It's going to be priced from $59,990 plus on-road costs. So here in Western Australia, that means closer to $65,000 on the road because we've got one of the highest rates going. In other states, it's going to be a lot cheaper than that. Now, it's going to come with a mid-sized battery, which is the 64 kilowatt hour battery, which is 61.7 kilowatt hours of usable, and it's an NCM, nickel, cobalt, manganese pack. Because it's a performance model with the mid-sized battery, it's going to lose about 50 kilometers range over the Essence model. So it's going to have a WLTP range of 385 kilometers, which I prefer to try and quote. Real world range is probably just over the 300 kilometer range, which is not bad for a small car with the performance that this is going to have. So its 0 to 100 time is a neck snapping 3.8 seconds, which is pretty damned impressive. But it does use launch control to do it. It does this with dual motors totaling 320 kilowatts, which is about 430 horsepower, which is pretty good. And it's 150 kilowatt on the front and 170 kilowatt motor on the back. Charging is also very, very reasonable. 10 to 80% time of 26 minutes. That's pretty good. Design-wise, it's got some subtle exterior changes, including the orange brake calipers, a two-tone roof, 18-inch alloy wheels that are new. A new colour, Hunter Green. Not sure whether I like that or not. I prefer the orange, I think. Technology-wise, it will have an all-new dynamic cornering control system, which features a locking electronic diff with intelligent motor control to allow torque vectoring between all four wheels. So it's going to corner pretty well. The stopping power has also been increased, so it should be able to go from 100 down to 0 in just 33.9 meters. Pretty good. And you can register your interest for this on the MG Australia website right now. Next up, the VWID Buzz. Now it's coming in both the people mover and the cargo versions. Once again, registrations of interest are open on the VW Australia's webpage, but the first deliveries are not expected until the latter half of next year, 2024. Now, this is one EV that I really want to see. Back in the late 60s and very early 70s, I used to drive around in a VW combi van. It was actually my dad's, and it was great fun. So I'm hoping that this ID Buzz series will live up to my expectations. Now, the first ID Buzz is actually arriving on our shores later this month, October 2023, and it should be seen at the VW Cronulla Surf Masters because the combi van was very much linked with surfers. The Buzz people mover should be available in both 5 and 7 seat variations, as well as the cargo version. Now, they haven't released much in the way of information regarding the specs, as they may change between now and in a year's time. but I do expect them to become pretty popular, certainly among the surfing set, if their history is anything to go by. But I still think it's going to appeal to families, retirees, hello, me, and tradies. Families for the 7-seater, retirees for the 5-seater, and tradies for the cargo. That's what I reckon. The last of the new arrivals due next year is the Skoda Enyaq EV. Now, Skoda have confirmed that both the standard and the RS versions are coming to Australia, and they're due to arrive here in July 2024. So they've now called this the Enyaq 85. So it's got an 85 kilowatt hour battery. The previous one, I think it only got an 80. And the standard has got an increase in power now, 210 kilowatts, which is about 290 horsepower. And it's going to give it a WLTP range of 547 kilometers. Real world at 450. I think that's pretty impressive. This rear-wheel drive model will do the 0 to 100 in 6.7 seconds, which is nothing to be sneezed at, really. The RS model goes up to 250 kilowatts, or about 335 horsepower, and it'll do the 0 to 100 sprint in 5.5 seconds. The Skoda Enyaq now has more advanced motors, more advanced batteries, and improved thermal management, and it will have the ability to preheat the batteries for faster charging, and they will be capable of a maximum charging rate of 175 kilowatts, and it will have a 10 to 80% charge time of 28 minutes. Now, Skoda has released their new software for their cars, version 4, which has completely redesigned the interface to make it more intuitive and easier to control the car's functions. Now, it's also going to have a heads-up display, or HUD, and voice assistance. Once again, they haven't released the price, and these details are obviously subject to change by the time they get here. And now for a quick word on these prizes. In order to enter, all you need to do is make a comment below and like this video, and then you'll go into the draw to win some prizes. I've got some Halo BLK items to give away. Now, these are specifically for Tesla Model 3 and Model Y, and I've got 2 items there. But I've also got a Halo BLK air freshener, which will fit any car, just hang it up. So don't forget, make a comment and click the like button. And if you want to increase your chances, go back to my previous video on COP28 and the cock-up that's going to be. Links around here, and do the same to that video. Watch it, click the like, click the subscribe button, and make a comment. Thank you very much. Now, also in the description below, there's a link to my Tesla referral code, which, if you're thinking of ordering a Tesla, you currently get about a 750 Australian dollar discount. It's different for different countries, but it can be used anywhere around the world that Tesla are, and that would be really nice. And there's also a link to Ko-fi, where you can help me by either just buying me a coffee once, or you can elect contribute a small amount on a monthly basis. And if you're outside of Australia, it works out even cheaper, because the Australian dollar is doing the old nosedive against the American dollar. Earlier on this year, it was 72 cents. It's now 63 cents. Oh, well, them's the breaks. So thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you all very soon.